Iran's Fattah versus Israel's Jericho. This isn't just another headline. It's the story of a secret missile race that's quietly reshaping the entire Middle East. While the world watches political posturing, a high-stakes technological showdown is unfolding in the shadows, and its outcome could change everything overnight. Let's break down the players. On one side, we have Iran, which recently unveiled its Fattah hypersonic missile. They claim it can travel at Mach 15, that's 15 times the speed of sound and maneuver in and out of the atmosphere. The name Fattah translates to conqueror or opener, and Iran's message is crystal clear. They believe this weapon can bypass any existing missile defense system on the planet, including Israel's famed Iron Dome and Arrow systems. Now, why is this such a big deal? Traditional ballistic missiles follow a predictable arc like a long-range cannonball. This makes them relatively easy to track and intercept. Hypersonic missiles, however, are a different beast. They're not just fast. They're agile. They can change direction mid-flight, making them incredibly difficult to shoot down. If Iran's claims about Fattah are true, it represents a monumental leap in their military capabilities. It would give them the power to strike targets with near impunity, holding cities and strategic assets across the region at risk. But this story has another side. On the other side of this high-tech duel is Israel, a nation that has long relied on technological superiority to ensure its survival. For decades, Israel has been developing its own series of ballistic missiles, shrouded in a policy of deliberate ambiguity. This is the Jericho missile program. While Israel rarely acknowledges it, the Jericho series is widely believed to be the cornerstone of its strategic deterrent. The latest in this line, the Jericho 3, is an intercontinental ballistic missile with a range estimated to be anywhere from 4,000 to over 6,500 kilometers. This puts not only Tehran but also major cities across Europe and Asia within its reach. Unlike the Fattah, the Jericho 3 isn't designed for tactical, evasive strikes. It's a strategic weapon, believed to be capable of carrying a significant payload, including, according to most international analysts, a nuclear warhead. This is the ultimate never-again insurance policy for Israel, a weapon so devastating that its very existence is meant to deter any existential threat. So we have a classic confrontation: Iran's new, nimble, and supposedly unstoppable hypersonic sword versus Israel's powerful, long-range, and potentially nuclear-tipped shield, or perhaps its own sword of Damocles. It's a race between speed and power, between tactical advantage and strategic deterrence. The development of the Fattah missile didn't happen in a vacuum. It's the culmination of years of sanctions, reverse engineering, and a relentless drive by Iran to become a self-sufficient military power. They've poured immense resources into their missile program, seeing it as the great equalizer against technologically and financially superior adversaries. For Iran, missiles are a source of national pride and a key pillar of their defense doctrine. They project power, deter attacks, and give them leverage in regional conflicts from Yemen to Syria. Meanwhile, Israel's Jericho program has an equally long and clandestine history, born from the existential fears of a small nation surrounded by hostile neighbors. It began in the 1960s with French assistance and has evolved through several generations, each more powerful and sophisticated than the last. The Jericho program represents Israel's ultimate red line. The message to its adversaries is simple: you can try to hurt us, but we can ensure your complete destruction. It's a stark and terrifying calculus, but it's been a core part of Middle Eastern security dynamics for half a century. Now, with the arrival of Fattah, the old calculations are being thrown into question. Can Israel's multi-layered defense system, the Iron Dome for short-range rockets, David's Sling for medium-range threats, and the Arrow 2 and 3 systems for long-range ballistic missiles actually stop a hypersonic weapon? The Arrow 3 is designed to intercept threats outside the atmosphere, which could be effective against some hypersonic glide vehicles. But if Fattah can maneuver within the atmosphere as claimed, it poses a severe challenge to even the most advanced interceptors. This forces Israel to rely more heavily on its offensive capabilities and its doctrine of preemption. We've seen this playbook before. Israel has a history of taking proactive military action to neutralize perceived threats, like the bombing of Iraq's Sirak nuclear reactor in 1981 and a suspected Syrian reactor in 2007. The question is, would they view Iran's hypersonic program as a threat so grave that it warrants a preemptive strike? Such an action would undoubtedly trigger a massive regional war with devastating consequences for everyone. This missile race also has a huge psychological component. When Iran parades the Fattah missile, it's not just a message for Israel. It's a message for its own people and for other regional powers like Saudi Arabia. It says, "We are a major power. We cannot be bullied or isolated." Conversely, Israel's quiet but well-understood Jericho capability is a constant, looming presence that shapes the strategic thinking of every leader in the region. It's a silent conversation conducted through satellite imagery and intelligence reports. The implications extend far beyond the Middle East. The United States, as Israel's primary ally, is deeply invested in maintaining its partner's qualitative military edge. An unstoppable Iranian missile complicates U.S. military planning and puts American forces and allies in the region at greater risk. It could force the U.S. to deploy new, more advanced defense systems to the Gulf, escalating tensions even further. Russia and China are also watching closely. They are leaders in hypersonic technology themselves and have complex relationships with Iran. The proliferation of this technology could embolden other nations to pursue similar weapons, triggering a global hypersonic arms race. So what happens next? There are a few possible scenarios. First, a continued, accelerating arms race. Israel will likely fast-track the development of its own hypersonic weapons or hypersonic defense systems, like the Skysonic Interceptor Rafael Advanced Defense Systems has announced. Iran, in turn, will work to improve the Fattah and develop even more advanced versions. This is the classic action-reaction cycle that has defined arms races throughout history. A second, more dangerous possibility is miscalculation. With tensions so high, a small border skirmish or a proxy conflict could quickly spiral out of control. If one side believes the other is about to launch a first strike, they might be tempted to act preemptively, leading to the very war everyone wants to avoid. The speed of hypersonic weapons shortens decision-making time dramatically, increasing the risk of a catastrophic mistake. A third, more hopeful scenario is a return to diplomacy. The threat posed by these new weapons could, paradoxically, create a new incentive for dialogue. Recognizing that a military conflict would be mutually destructive, both sides might be pushed back to the negotiating table to establish new red lines and de-escalation mechanisms. However, given the deep-seated animosity and lack of trust, this remains a long shot. The race between Fattah and Jericho is more than just a technological competition. It's a clash of ideologies, ambitions, and fears. It's a story of survival, power, and the terrifying logic of deterrence in the 21st century. The world we live in is being quietly reshaped by engineers and scientists in secret underground labs. And the next move in this dangerous game could come at any moment, changing the Middle East and the world overnight. This isn't science fiction. It's the reality of modern warfare, and we're all living in its shadow. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world. Let us know in the comments what you think the future holds for this high-stakes rivalry. Stay informed and stay safe.